so much. So you've heard it declared, Blue Hose. Not many things bring the Terriers and the Blue Hose together, but the Reverends did it so for the next hour, Coach Straw, for the next hour, the Terriers and the Blue Hose are linked, okay? Reverend McCracken declared that before the Lord today. That's Coach Ayers' team. Our Red Devils are going to Landrum tomorrow night. Our Raiders are going to Wren tomorrow night. Newberry Academy is getting ready to take on our Lawrence Academy Crusaders. Like I've already told you, the Blue Hose will be home Saturday to take on our Presbyterian College Blue Hose greatly. So I'm going to ask Gene to come up now. It's time for our Lawrence County Farm Bureau Players of the Week. We got 3 for you here today.
As Buddy mentioned, obviously we didn't meet a couple of weeks ago, so we got to back up and recognize some of those that from a few weeks back. First of all, for the Player of the Week, I'll be back to September 20th. It'll be from Lawrence Academy. They played King Academy that night. It was the first big win over King Academy, I think, in several years. Garrison Vaughn, come on up, Garrison. Garrison Vaughn is a junior. He's an offensive lineman, as you can tell, a big guy for Lawrence Academy. He helped pave the way that night on the offensive side of the ball. 484 yards of total offense for the Crusaders, and they scored 52 points all the way behind partially this big guy, one of many there that night as well. On the defensive side of the ball, Garrison had 10 total tackles, 6 tackles for a loss, and a huge block on special teams trying to help seal that game as well. Our September 20th Player of the Week is Garrison Vaughn. Said Garrison is everything you want on and off the field. And he's a lineman, he's tough, he's relentless, smart, precise, and an established leader on the team. Again, Garrison Vaughn, our Player of the Week for September 20th. And then fast forward to 1 week, the week of the storm that's been done September 27th. Lawrence was the only one smart enough to move their game up. Coach, I don't know what y'all saw, didn't see. You guys moved your game up to that Wednesday. You are consequently the only high school team to get to play that week. But our Player of the Week for the week of September the 27th, but actually on Wednesday the 25th, versus Lawrence is Logan Martin, sophomore. Logan, come on up here, please. Yeah, this is Logan Martin, sophomore at Lawrence District High School. He's a linebacker. He had 1 interception that night against Langston. He had 1 sack, 4 tackles, and 2 kickoff recoveries. As Lexington tried to squib kick it, and did a great job there. Coach Porter stated again, saying to him, that he's a young man that works hard on and off the field. He's only a sophomore and he's going to be next in for the next season. But that particular night, he played hard until the end. And this is how we build our culture and our program at Lawrence District High School. Our Player of the Week for the week of September 25th. Logan Martin, Lawrence District High School. Give him a round of applause. As you know, these laws that we take each and every week is about Farm Bureau Insurance, which Buddy just happens to be. And that's on what Main Street here in Lawrence. Farm Bureau Insurance can't thank them enough for being our recipient of our Players of the Week in their memento. Last, we skipped obviously October 4th. Nobody played obviously that week. We fast forward to this past Friday night. It's Clinton High School versus Chesney. I think it's needed the reason to play for all our teams. This is Tushawan, Richardson. Sean, come on up. He's the quarterback for Clinton High School. He's going to complete 9 passes on 14 attempts for 178 yards, 3 touchdowns. All those touchdowns for 3 different receivers. One of them for a 4th down for a long of 47 yards. He also ran the ball for 25 yards on 3 attempts. And Coach Fallon stated, Tushawan did a great job operating the offense after a long break. He was able to create plays with his legs and improvise when needed. Tushawan is a great football player. He's also a great young man. October 11th, Player of the Week, Sean Richardson to Clinton High. Thank you.
Before Coach Ayers comes to speak, we always let our coaches, our representatives from the posts, from each high school, we'll go in this order today. Presbyterian, we will let you go first. Coach, come on up. Gene's got your mic right here. As we said, the Blue Hose hosts Drake this Saturday. Let's go out to Bailey Stadium there in Clinton to support the Blue Hose. Take it away, Coach.
Thanks. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Matt Rawl. I'm one of the offensive line coaches at Presbyterian. You guys have one of our other Logan Macy, our wide receivers coach, and I think we had Billy Kirkendall hiding around here somewhere, our special teams coordinator as well, was here. It's been a couple of tough weeks for us. We've had 3 games in a row now where we've lost extremely tight ball games late in the game in the 4th quarter. But our kids, they're being very resilient. We've had a great week of practice as we prepare for Drake. This will be a big test for us coming up. Our kids have really pushed through. I think there's been some things, you talk about the storm, bringing some people together, things like that. We've had an unbelievable opportunity through those tough times to get away. Thanks to, I know Dee Nichols, our athletic director, is here today. Our president, Augustafson, we have to give them thanks. They created some opportunities for our team to go out to San Diego when we didn't have power here a couple days early. We got to spend that time at the U.S. Olympic Training Center and practice out there and have meals and warm showers and all that kind of stuff there, which was great. Our kids really bonded. It was a unique opportunity that wouldn't have happened otherwise. Unfortunately, we were unable to come up with the win. Lost that one in overtime. But I think it was a point in time that we're going to look back at, and it's going to be a point that we can really connect to as we get this program turned around and get back on a winning track. So, appreciate you guys being here. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Joe. That next big rivalry game with the Crusaders always big when they get together with Newberry Academy down there tomorrow night. Up next for the Crusaders, Coach Jolly Doolittle.
Thank you for having us. Again, always, this is a highlight for our guys. So well done, so we appreciate that. We do have a region rivalry game this Friday, very important game for us. It seems like most coaches will tell you there's 3 seasons within a season, non-region, region, and playoffs. This story, we kind of feel like there's going to be 4 seasons. With you got the storm layoff and then into the region and playoffs. So we're done with our non-region. Every game from here on out is region. We're looking forward to it. We're sitting a little bit better than we have in quite some time. We're 5-2. Big part of that and our guys at the table. We've got an interesting dichotomy of people here at the table. 3 of these guys, it seems like I bring them every week. They mean that much to us. Garrison, Vaughn, who was introduced earlier, Garrett Murphy, and Hat Hardy. Those guys rarely come off the field. 140 plays every Friday night. Great leaders for us, producers for us. And then we brought John Walters. And John, we just don't let people come. You got to learn to come have a seat at this table. John was first year playing football. He's a lot of what high school football is all about. He's been our scout team player of the week numerous weeks. He's got us ball in the team culture. He just makes us better. And so oftentimes in high school locker room, if you're not starting and you're not producing, you don't think that you're a big part of success. But guys like John are a reason why we're sitting 5-2 and have a chance to finish the season very, very strong. Paul, in his letters to the Church of Corinth, at the end of the first book of Corinthians, in the final chapter, he told his church a couple things. He said, be alert, stand firm in your faith, be men of courage, be strong, do everything in love. And that's kind of our recipe for our final weeks in this season. You've got to be alert, and then you never have to get ready, you're always ready. So be alert, stand firm in your faith, be men of courage. Obviously, all those things are very important for football. Be strong, all right, mentally and physically strong. And then the most important component is do everything in love. So the most powerful force in the world is love. It seems like we have a very close-knit team this year, and so that will be the reason for our team's success, I believe, and we look forward to the end of the year.
Thank you, Coach. Up next is our Red Devils, and Glennon travels to Landrum. First meeting ever between the Red Devils and Landrum tomorrow night. Coach Corey Fan.
Thanks for having us, buddy. Thanks for everyone who puts this on. It seems like forever since we've been here with the storm and the break. Just thankful that all of our guys were healthy and came out of the storm the way they did. Thankful that my family was able to come out of the storm the way that we did. Makes you appreciate a lot of things, especially water and power, doesn't it? And especially those people who make sure we have water and power. And we didn't have it for a while, like many of you, for like a week. And my wife was like, hey, like after day 2, you want to go get a hotel room? I was like, no, my kids need to see hard, you know? My little girls need to see hard. They need to see a little bit of a struggle sometimes. It's always so easy, you know? And it was eye-opening. And by day 7 or 8, maybe 8, when we finally got power, they were very appreciative. They were appreciative of all those things that, you know, we take for granted every day. Thankful for everybody that got that power back on and the water going. For us, we didn't have water because we have a well. But told them, do not use toilet paper. Put it in the trash can. Do not throw it in the toilet. That was the big thing they learned. You know, I mean, it takes a lot of gallons of water to flush the toilet. But anyways, so I digress. Going back to Daniel, which seems like it was a long time ago. Daniel, we got beat up a little bit. First half was close. We kept ourselves in the game. Second half got away from us with big plays that Daniel was able to get, and also we had some turnovers that we don't normally have. And when you play a team like Daniel, they take advantage of those things, and they don't make very many mistakes. And they took it to us. Then we had the break. We weren't smart enough to play on Wednesday. Actually, we were having homecoming, and I don't know if we could have got it all pulled together, Gene. But yeah, we didn't play on Wednesday. We're pushing it back. Actually, homecoming festivities will be our next home game along with senior night. And so we played Chesney. Chesney was a good football team in our region. Physical, looked good on the road. They punched us in the mouth. We punched them in the mouth, and we had the last punch. And we had a good game with those guys. And then now we're going on to Landrum. Never played against Landrum. They like to spread you around. Got a pretty good quarterback, a good receiver, and then some pretty good running backs. It's going to be a challenge for us. They're 5-1, and we're going in there 4-2. Today I brought with me Tushawan Richardson, our quarterback, senior. Just does a great job. Football is not necessarily his first love. His first love is basketball, but when you see him play football, you also see him how he plays basketball as he weaves through traffic. He gets the ball to the people that need to score. If he needs to score, he scores as well. And he plays football a lot like basketball. Look forward to the game this Friday night and what he's going to do in that. One of his main targets is Devin Swindler. Devin Swindler was out for a couple of weeks with an hamstring injury, but he's back. Had a great game last game. Huge target for us when we need a big play. We oftentimes are going to look for Devin. Also, a big-time basketball guy. Got fun ups to watch him dunk it. And I knew he was better. I knew his hamstring was better when I saw him start doing 360 dunks in the gym. I was like, dude, you're good. I don't know. You better practice today. That's what I told him. You better practice today. Up next, got Clay Lawson. I know he come last week too, but he's just one of those guys that grinds it out on the line. And if you want to win games, you got to win it in the trenches. He starts on offensive line. He starts on defensive line. I don't think he comes off the field except for kickoff return and kickoff. That's the only 2 times he probably comes off the field. Great player for us. Enjoy watching him play. I enjoy watching him practice as well. Up next, you got Luke Young. You hear about his brother all the time, Brett. Luke has made his home right there as the Mike linebacker in our defensive system. He also thinks he's Gronk. He thinks he's Gronk at tight end. But we don't throw it to him as much as, if you were Gronk, we throw it to you at least 10 times a game. I do well. But no, great player for us. Look for great things out of him. He's still only a junior, so we'll have him for another year. Been doing a great job just orchestrating defense, moving guys around in the box, making sure we're where we're supposed to be. Him and his brother are great it's like having two coaches out on the field on Friday nights, and I appreciate everything he does. Really honored. Thank you.
Up next is Coach Porter. I just want to tell you, the Southside Tigers, they still picking themselves up from last Friday night. Raiders went up there and just did some business against the Southside Tigers. Up next, Coach Greg Porter.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I'll tell you what, it feels good to get that first win. Both teams, Southside and myself, we both 0-5. Something they had to win. Our kids finally played desperate. And I'm so proud of the guys. Was our quarterback played great. The entire team played better. Next 10 weeks, going back to that week, I'll tell you what, I had to overcome some health issues, and I had to coach the game for the press box. That was the most difficult thing I ever experienced in my life. I said, I don't care how bad I feel going back on the field. That is absolutely an impossible experience to be a head coach from the press box. So, but the doctor said, you need to do that instead of me. So, doctor wins the battle. But I'm glad for our team. We won at 5, and like I told the kids, no matter what we went through in our non-region, in the region you want to come and you tied for first. It's a new season when you start the region. And our non-region schedule, we play nothing but ranked teams. Ranked teams in a tough non-region prepare you for your region, and if you have any desire to go to the playoffs. So embrace your storm. Stop feeling bad about yourself and take each game one step at a time. I've been here before, and I know what it takes to get to the next level. So pay your dues. It's not going to be easy, but we're going to get there. So it's a new mindset for our kids. We take it one step at a time. Not being arrogant, we got a long way to go. Still got a long way to play. Grant was an excellent program, excellent team. Coach Rick is doing a tremendous job over there, but I think our team will be great. Absolutely. Thank you.
Now it's time for Coach Ayers. I'd just like to ask to raise your hands. If you've never heard Coach Ayers speak, would you raise your hand? If you've never heard him speak, raise your hand. Get ready. We got the right man to come up here. One of our sponsors, Seth Reynolds with Reynolds Family Dentistry. Seth's going to come up here and he's going to introduce. But also, we got Miss Emily here today, so I want to recognize her one more time. Seth, you tell us all about the coach.
Everybody's in for a treat today. You guys who haven't heard Coach speak before, you're really in for a treat. It's always a joy to have him here to speak or hear him anywhere to speak. Coach took over a Wofford program back in the late 80s. He was there for 30 years. During that 30-year tenure, he moved from NAIA to Division II to FCS. Over his career, 5 Southern Conference championships, 8 FCS playoff appearances, SoCon Coach of the Year, National Coach of the Year. Within the past few years, he's been inducted to the South Carolina Football Hall of Fame, South Carolina Athletic Hall of Fame, SoCon Hall of Fame, and the Wofford Hall of Fame. He and his wife Julie have 3 children and numerous grandchildren. Welcome, Coach Mike Ayers.
Getting out of the way, give this man some room.
It's great to be here, especially after what's gone on in our great state. I was a football coach for a long, long time. I was blessed to have an opportunity to coach at Wofford. I had some great kids. We took over in 1988. Some of you guys probably wasn't born. In 1988, we inherited a football team that was 1-10. And I can remember, just like yesterday, the first time that I saw our squad. It was in the lecture cinema room, and all the kids had come to meet the new coach. We had an athletic director named Danny Morrison. Danny, great guy. He's a Wofford guy through and through. But Danny reminded me of a used car salesman. He was trying to tell me how great the program was, and they had gone 1-10. And you're asking yourself right now, what the heck is he doing taking a 1-10 job? I had a job. I was the head coach at East Tennessee State. But for some reason, I took a visit and talked to Danny Morrison and to the president of Wofford, Joe Lassane. We talked about the team, about what their goals and aspirations were, and then after that, I headed back over the mountain, going back to East Tennessee State. Back then, there was no Interstate 26 that ran over the mountain. It was a place, you ran up the road, the old country road, and you went to Sam's Gap, highest part of that portion of the country, over 3,000 and some feet. I get to Sam's Gap and it's like, boom! You got to go. God tells me I got to go. I go and I'm driving and I'm saying, all these things going on in my mind. I finally get to our house. I go inside and my wife said, what'd they say? And I said, well, I got to tell you this first and foremost. The salary is a $12,000 pay cut. She said, you can't do that. I said, babe, somehow, some way, we got to do that. We come to Wofford, we inherit the football team. I get to meet the football team for the very first time. There was 82 guys in that room. There were 82 guys that, quite frankly, had been beat down. Quite frankly, a lot of them just didn't want to do it anymore. I talked to the guys and I told them, I said, it's a new day. And I said, somehow, some way, we're going to turn this ship around and we're going to get it done. We started that next morning at 6 a.m. And the first drill that we did was put your hand on the line. Put your hand on the line. See these lines right here? Just put your hand on the line. Can you do that for me? Can you do that for me? Put your hand on the line. We had 82 guys. We had 10 guys in a row. And the very first group, it took them 6 times to put their hand on the line, run to half court, and then throttle down and go down at the other end of the gym. We blew them back. Come on back. We blew them back. Come on back. We blew them back. Come on back. 6 times. And I'd heard the rumor that we had smart kids at Wofford. So it's one of those things where I'm saying, don't you guys understand? One of them had his hand over the line. One of them had his hand behind the line. One of them didn't even have his hand on the line. And so we went through that process. But it was more than just put your hand on the line and go finish at half court. What I was trying to let them know from the beginning is this. Little things make a difference. Little things make a difference. You may not think you're a great player, but the bottom line is you may be a great player. You may think you can't do something, but the bottom line is if you have the will and the mind and the strength and the power to believe, you'll get it done. You'll get it done. I told the guys simply this: when you put your hand on that line, you're not just putting your hand on the line, you're putting your heart on the line. You're putting your guts on the line. You're putting your strength on the line. You're putting your mind on the line. You're putting your want to on the line. It's a simple thing, but can you do it? A lot of guys, after that first AM, they left. They left. And to me, that was hard to kind of suck up and believe, but the bottom line was the ones that stayed got it done. We changed their mindset around. We changed their belief around, their belief process around, and by the grace of God, we found a way to get it done, and we had the guys, we had some offensive linemen, and I hate to point this out, but he played offensive tackle for us. What were you, 215? 215. And so, the guys that we had, they may not have been ready-made, but because of what we did in them early morning drills and out there on that practice field in the spring, we had them hard. Because you can't be hard unless you do hard. And we did hard. Real hard. But first year, 5-5. I felt like I'd been beat with a tire iron. Second year, got a few more guys, got them ones that we had, a little bit sharper, a little bit better. 6-5. I'm saying we going too slow. We going too slow. Next year we go 9-3. And the next year we go 9-3. Now you're saying, oh, great plan. But the real truth of the story is this: players make a difference. Players make a difference. We had a little old quarterback. He was $155. He was about that tall. But that cat right there could run the rock. His name was Sean Graves. And we ran the triple option, and we ran the triple option for miles. He was bad to the bone, Jack. I will tell you that right now. My man over there, Coach Stroud, he used to try to stop him. He was hard to stop, wasn't he? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And true story, and I hate to say this, but it's a true story, and Coach, it's when we were playing you guys, and it'd been one of those back and forth deals. It was always back and forth. And we're on, I'm thinking like the minus 28-yard line. And it's one of those deals where they stuffed us. Your first 3 times, we come out and they stuff us. And I'm saying, if we punt the ball to them, we're going to lose. I said, the only shot we got is to get a first down. We ran triple option. We ran triple option to the left. Guess who carried the ball? Sean Graves. Guess how far Sean Graves went? Touchdown. Touchdown. He was a difference maker athletically, and he was a difference maker in his spirit, in his heart, and in his guts. He feared nobody when he was on that field. He said, Coach, I can do it. Hey, Coach, I can do it. Well, hey, Sean, come on, man. It's like 4th and 20. Now, Coach, I think I can get it. Every now and then we had to punt. But he was a guy who became a difference maker and an unbelievable leader, not just by his words, but by his actions. What are your actions? Are you the real deal? Are you the one that toes the line, does what he's supposed to do, is willing to go hard when hard is hard? Or are you that guy who makes, I'm not sure. When that darkness of doubt comes into play, are you one that backs down, slow down, give in, give out, or give up? What are you? What are you? If you tell me on the front end, I'm all in, and you're not, what are we doing? What are we doing? A man is as strong as his truth. And your truth can be not only what you say, but what you do. Be the man. Be the man. Don't be that one that's halfway in and halfway out. You got to be all in. I've been married for almost 50 years. My wife normally comes, but she had a dentist appointment. Ironic. And it's one of those things to where almost 50 years, and you know how many fights we've had? I can't count. No. We don't have fights. We work it out. So, all of you players, what's your dream? What's your dream? Huh? Are you going to be willing to put your hand on the line? What, 5 out of 5? 8 out of 2? Are you going to be 50%? Are you going to be a 100% guy? Life is hard. Life is hard. But you know what? We had a real good taste of hard a couple weeks ago for everybody. And it's not just you. A lot of times I see these guys and they think life is all about them. The whiners. The whiners. Because things get a little hard. But you know what? I like those guys. I don't care if they as tall as that chair. But if they hard knots, if they guys that are willing to toe the line, if they guys who are willing to follow the game plan, then guess what? You'll start matriculating down the road. Next thing you know, guess what? We at the 50. We at the 60. We score! That's what it is. Are you scoring in life? Are you scoring and you want to be X, but you're not willing to fight for X, work for X? Then what is it? Are you a whiner? Are you crazy? Because I know this, X is going to be hard to obtain. Prime example. High school player. Now I'm telling you my story. High school player. I had a great high school coach named Tom Dowling. Tom Dowling was a guy, he took no junk. If you wanted to dance on his field, he got you off his field. When you scored, you handed the ball to the official. He was old school, but he was the real school. Tom Dowling was a guy, he saved my life. He saved my life. I play high school ball. I'm a pretty good player, and I get an opportunity to go to college. First guy ever on both sides of my family to go to college. I have 5 brothers. And it's one of those things when you have that many siblings and they're all male, you got, some tough times and some hard times and some mad times and some sad times and some glad times. Football, got an opportunity to go play, go to college, first time ever. I go to college, you know what? I was all about playing ball. East Kentucky University, 1967. I never missed a workout. Never. Never missed an opportunity to get into the weight room as much as I needed to. The problem, listen to me, all you guys, the problem will be if you don't attend what? Class. I said, Coach, because I eventually, after that first semester and we won that championship, he calls me into the office. I sit down right in front of me, and he said, we got a problem. And I said, what is it, Coach? He said, you're not going to class. He said, you've been excluded. I wasn't that smart. I didn't know what exclusion meant. He said, that means you're kicked out. I said, oh my God. He said, but you can come back in a semester. Great. Moral of the story, I go back home. I end up getting a job as a garbologist. You know what a garbologist is? He's that guy who picks up your trash. I'm on the garbage truck. I'm working for Claremont Waste. We had a motto, it may be garbage to you, but it's our bread and butter. We're talking about the trash. And so, I want to be the best garbage man they got, because the more you picked up, the higher your paycheck went. I'm going one day, and my work uniform used to be a pair of Keds gym shoes, a pair of shorts, and no shirt. I'm out there, and I'm throwing it. I used to be able to snatch 3 garbage cans in one hand. You put them together just like that right there, and I'd get the rims off of it, and I'd snatch 3 cans up, I'd throw them in the hopper, I'd press the truck, I'd run up, jump into the cab, take the power takeoff off, put it in first gear, boom, I'm to the next stop. I was pretty good. Matter of fact, I was the best guy that Claremont Waste had. One day, guess what happened? A kid shot me. Shot me with a pellet rifle. There, garbage strewn all over the place. But I was a company man, you know what I did? I picked every piece of that up, and I dumped it in the hopper. And on the last piece, I get shot, boom. And I thought I got stung by a bee. I slapped back of my arm, and I got blood coming out. And I look up at this house, and this kid pulls his pellet rifle back in through the window. I went off. I'm beating down the door. Finally, the lady, she's screaming, I'm calling the cops, I'm calling the cops. You don't want to be beating down somebody's door nowadays, because you may get the wrong thing at you. I go down. I keep picking up. All of a sudden, here comes the boss, a guy named Walt Gale. Walt comes up to me. He punches me. He said, you crazy hillbilly. He said, what are you doing? Blah, blah. Walt had a vocabulary about that long. They were all cuss words. And so it comes down to this. I said, this kid's shooting. He shot me. We go, police come, and all this. You know what the kid says when it all got ironed out? The police said, you want me to put him in jail? I said, no. I said, I just want to ask this kid a question. Why'd you shoot me? You know what the kid said? You're just a garbage man. Just a garbage man. Perception! It can be nasty. You know what? You know why we had some guys who were 5'10" and played offensive line? You know why we had guys that may not have been the fastest, may not have been the quickest or the thickest or the greatest? Because from that moment on, I stopped judging people from the outside, and I started looking hard as hell about what they're all about on the inside. Amen. That's what it's about. I loved coaching that guy right there. He was easy. He was easy to coach. You know why he was easy? He did what he was supposed to do to the best of his ability. Amazing! Today, pretty successful guy. Beautiful wife. All of you guys, understand the thing that you've been given right now is an opportunity for greatness. Greatness. One piece, one piece, one piece, one piece, one piece. That's your opportunity. And if we take all those pieces and we're willing to grind, if we're willing to get after it, then by the grace of God, you will be what you're supposed to be. You understand? God bless.
Thank you, Coach. We are so thankful that you always come and grace us with your presence and your speech. The only thing that follow that is door prizes. Door prizes. The only thing that follow Coach Ayers said thank you. Buddy, thank you. Buddy, what about the bear? The bear. I knew it was coming. If you gotta go. Feel free, get your picture made. We'll see if Coach will tell the story of the bear. Red Devils, get your picture made with Garrison before you go. Okay, I'm going to give you a quick version of Victor the Wrestling Bear. You can look it up on your phones. Back in the day, we couldn't do that. Victor the Wrestling Bear was a bear, came out of Canada, and Victor was one of those bears that went around to the logging camps, and he would wrestle. The loggers would give him $1, his handler, and they had an opportunity to win $5. Victor supposedly whipped 600 matches in a row.
body slam and stuff like that. Long story short, I ran into Vic, okay? Vic, I was coming home and my brothers had picked me up at the airport. I'd been in the Marine Corps, blah, blah, blah. It's another story. Okay, I'm coming home. My two brothers picked me up, Ray and Skinner, and they said, hey, there's a sports convention show at the Cincinnati Garden, and let's go. Let's go see it. Let's go see what it's all about. We go in there. There's boats. There's a guy shooting a bow and arrow. There's a guy with a fly rod. I mean, they had all these displays and stuff like that. All of a sudden, coming over the loudspeaker, ladies and gentlemen, Victor the Wrestling Bear. I said, man, who's going to be crazy enough to wrestle a bear? Well, we go. There's a platform. It's about this high. It goes back to a set of red curtains. 4 guys jump out. The guy said we needed 5. 4 guys jump out, and they get up and they volunteer. Okay? I look at my brothers and I said, who's the idiots? Who's going to do that? And all of a sudden they jack me up on stage, and all of a sudden I'm the 5th guy. 4 guys. I can remember, and this is a good lesson. Those guys should have heard it. But the guy next to me, he goes, you think it's a real bear? Good reason why not to drink alcohol. Okay. I said, I don't know, Chief. And then all of a sudden, you hear this. I part the curtains. There's a 1960 rust over yellow Buick station wagon. There's a cage in it. And I looked at the guy and I said, Chief, it's a real bear. He goes, oh my God. So they bring out Vic. He's got a collar around his neck. The guy puts a lead on him. He walks him out, pulls up a stool. Victor sits down on the stool. The guy brings in a short coat. You guys, do they still make short coats? The 6-ounce Coca-Colas. He pops the lid, he hands it to Vic, Vic chugs it down. I'm thinking, oh my gosh. We start. 1 guy, 2 guys, 3 guys, 4 guys. And they were all trying techniques about all this. Vic would just come up and just slug them, knock them to the ground. I'm the 5th guy. True story. I'm telling you, true story. The guy who was Vic's trainer comes up, punched me twice in the chest. He said, mix it up with him. He really likes it when you mix it up with him. Here we go. Here's Vic. I grab him in the chest, and I'm thinking, hey, you know, I just got out of the Marine Corps, man. And I can get after him. I went, and it was like trying to move a bridge abutment. I said, oh my gosh. Long story short, I get Vic down. What's your name?
Garrison.
Louder.
Garrison.
Come here, Garrison. Okay. Here's Vic. Vic wasn't red hair, but you'll be all right. All right. Vic, every time that I'd stick my arm out, Vic would swat my arm. Vic was down like this. I was trying to move around, and then I noticed he started swatting. I put this hand out, flicked him on the muzzle. And then second time I went there, you're swatting. I duck under it. I drop down, boom, and he flattens out. I jump up and run to his head. I got him in. What is this?
Headlock.
Bear hug. Okay. Got him in a bear hug. And I'm working Vic, and he's all this. The handler says, let him go. I said, no! He pulls my hands apart. Here comes Vic. He whispered to Vic, sweet somethings, kill him. And so, here comes Vic. Like that right there. And I says, oh my gosh. I back off. And then the only thing I could do, football, recall, I ran. He had a muzzle on. I headbutted him right in the chops. He went crazy. Vic knocks me off the stage. Boom. Then people are going, ah! My brothers are going, he pinned the bear, you're cheating us. Finally, the guy said, hey, give me a good hand. Do you believe that story? Come on, do you believe that story? Okay, you got a phone?
It's over there.
Okay. Get on that phone and type in Victor the Wrestling Bear and see if it's fake. Hey, look at it! Look at it! Victor the Wrestling Bear. Is it fact or fiction? And I don't deal in fiction.
All right, our next meeting, give him another big hand. Thank you, Garrison. It'll be Halloween back here in 2 weeks. Halloween, October 31st. And at that meeting right there, our caterers will be Miss Cindy Jacobs and District 56 staff. Our game day sponsors will be school districts 55 and 56 and Prisma Health will be the game day sponsors right back here.
Did you find it?
Stand up.
Stand up. Did you find it?
Testify.
Yeah!
Our speaker in next meeting will be Charlie Winsky, the South Carolina High School League Deputy Commissioner, and I would be playoff time and everything we experienced. It'd be a great meeting with Charlie here. We thank you. At this time,